From our studios in Olympia, Washington, TCTV presents South Sound Seniors, news and views featuring the people, places, and events that impact our growing senior community here in the South Sound region. Our program is presented as a community service to inform and involve you and yours in the lives of older adults. Your host for South Sound Seniors is the Executive Director of Senior Services for South Sound, Eileen Mackenzie Sullivan.
Welcome to South Sound Seniors, a program for and about older adults in our community. And if you've been watching this show for a while, you know that every other month we feature members of the Senior Action Network. Well, it finally dawned on us, some of us are a little slow, that maybe a better explanation of what is that Senior Action Network anyway. We've had some wonderful guests and our viewers have learned some amazing things, but when I say this is a Senior Action Network show, so that you aren't sitting out there going, I wonder what that is, we're going to dedicate this show to the Senior Action Network, and you're going to know as much about it as there possibly is to know. Because I have two wonderful guests here that are going to help explain it, and that's Claire Ferris with Funeral Alternatives of Washington. Welcome, Claire.
Well, hi, Eileen.
Good to see you. And Bruce Bamford from Bamford's Long-Term Care and Financials, right?
Right.
All right, well, welcome. So first of all, I'm going to ask you, Claire, you said, I think you know how long you've been a member of the Senior Action Network.
Right. We've been a member for 10 years now.
Wow, a decade.
Yeah.
That is great.
It's been a great experience. Lots of great people and just a wonderful organization doing good things for the senior community.
Yeah, okay. And Bruce, you can't remember how long you've been involved because you were one of the founders, which kind of cracks me up, but we think maybe around 14
I think about 14
years or so.
Yeah.
So, so I guess I'm going to call upon you to just kind of give a little, because you were actually one of the founding members, and give a little of the history of how was it founded, what happened, what was the spark of creativity?
I can remember I was just semi-new in my occupation of doing long-term care planning. Came out of the insurance, as a part of the insurance world, and I was at this meeting for Area Agency on Aging. And Area Agency on Aging is obviously a great organization to help seniors. It's a government agency. Anyway, when we came out of there, I met this person, Dawn Peterson, that we all know very well now, and another lady, I think her name was Teresa, I think. Anyway, they have an organization kind of like this up in Tacoma, and the three of us sat out in the lobby and said we should try to start a group like the Tacoma has down here in Olympia. And so a few of us met, and we came up with the name of Senior Action Network as we're moving down the road, and from there we just started building the whole organization.
Okay, so kind of the goal was really focused initially on networking primarily?
Yeah, I would say, more so. Who are all the senior advocates in the community, more so?
So it was really people who work with seniors, like obviously Senior Services is a member of the Senior Action Network, and Catholic Community Services and the folks from Area Agency on Aging, but it was also people who want to serve seniors through their private businesses as well.
Right.
Right? Do you remember in the early days how many people would come, how many members there were?
Oh, we started off like with 3, then went to 6 and 8 and 10, and moving from one smaller room of meeting like Westwoods or Hampton, and as we grew, and out to the Masonic was one. Then we got to about 50 or 60 people. And now that we have 160 members, we are definitely down at the Senior Center because that's where we can find a place to sit us all.
Right, yeah. Well, it is pretty amazing because it was kind of I guess, organically grew, from those small days, and now it's really amazing. We have, like you said, 160 members, and probably, I think we've been getting up to 75, 80 people at a particular monthly meeting.
It's about an average per meeting.
Yeah. So, Claire, we meet at the Senior Center, but when are the meetings, and how long do they last?
Well, we meet on Tuesday mornings, and once a month, the third Tuesday of the month, right?
Fourth,
excuse me, the fourth. Well, I won't be there on the third. But it's the fourth Tuesday of the month, and we're there at 7:45 in the morning, and we'll go to just a little bit after 9 o'clock. We try to be done by 9 o'clock. We get a lot done. We have a speaker that comes in and shares some information, so all of us are learning what the other members are doing, but in one thing, but on another thing, we are learning from the community and those that serve seniors that come in and speak to us, and we're getting educated ourselves about what's going on out there. I'll tell you what, I've learned a lot.
Have you?
There's a lot of things, a lot of concerns as people approach becoming being a senior themselves. And then also those that are in a senior community already, there are certain things that are very confusing for them to try and manipulate or understand and get a grasp of. That's what the network is all about. That's providing information for those that need it, and to help them in a simple way, or at least give them a resource that they can go to to be able to solve a problem that they have.
Right. Well, I imagine in your business you deal with a lot of seniors in the funeral business. And
we do, and one of the key things about being a part of the Senior Action Network is that when we're serving people and we can see that there is a need for certain things, I can refer them to someone within the network that will help them with their particular need.
Yeah.
It really works well. I did it this very week, in fact.
Wow.
I had an individual that needed help. They died without a will. There was no survivor. We were on call with rotation with the coroner's office, and they said, we found a survivor back in Nebraska.
Oh my gosh.
That was a 96-year-old uncle.
Oh, wow.
And so we have to call this person back there, get permission to do what they want us to do. But this person had assets out here, and I needed to find someone to help us solve the issues with the estate and help these people back there in Nebraska. And I called on an attorney and a personal representative within the Senior Action Network, people that I could trust to take care of the situation.
Yeah.
And it really worked fabulous.
Wow. Yeah. Isn't that neat? So that's really a good story, success story, to kind of say to other businesses that want to work with seniors, you can serve the people you want to work with better if you know those resources in the community.
Well, first and foremost, the Senior Action Network is a network of agencies and businesses within the community with attention to senior needs. Yeah. But we have an obligation. When we sign our membership forms, we sign our name on there saying that we're going to act ethically in the community and we're going to do the right thing. And so we can trust those others that are in the network to help people that we refer to them.
Right. It's kind of like the Good Housekeeping seal of approval or something.
Local basis.
Right, right. It's really a wonderful group. And actually during the meeting we even have a time of networking to thank people that have sent folks your way and to talk about that, which is really a neat thing.
I think I had 6 people on my thank you at this last meeting that have referred business into me too and back out. So that's really important.
Yeah. And like you said, you know, when you make that call to somebody in SAN, then you have confidence that the person you're sending to them is going to be well treated and taken care of because of their ethics and just because you've gotten to know them too. You know, you've really gotten to know them.
You know, and for me, it's the thank yous I get from the client when they come back to my office. Thank you for sending me to Dave Robinson. Thank you for sending me to Michelle Penberthy. Thank you for sending me to these people, Claire, to funeral planning. And they come back and they go, what marvelous people. You know, you saved me so much time trying to research this to find out where to even go in the community.
Right.
Head on.
Right. Yeah. And one thing that I think is really interesting is the way we communicate with other members. That I don't know if that was your brainchild, Bruce, or
I'm not sure where that one came from either.
Who named it? SAN Chat.
SAN Chat.
Tell us about that.
Well, as the needs grew in the community and our communication grew among the members, We developed our email database for all the paid members are the only ones that are involved in the SAN chat system. But I remember a specific time a couple of years ago that a wheelchair ramp on a gentleman's house needed to be removed off of the house. And so they I think it was Catholic Community Services sent through a message out through SAN chat, will any of us volunteer to come out and help remove it? Well, at the same time, we sent out the SAN chat that we have it available, and not only did it come off the home and we had volunteers take it off, it also went to Shelton and instantly got reinstalled onto another gentleman's house instantly that needed it over there.
Wow.
And so for communicating between all of us, if we have a hospital bed that we need or we have something for sale or whatever, it's marvelous for our communication between all members.
So people get what they really need to...
And pretty instantly.
Yeah.
Volunteer, somebody's going to show up. Or,
Yeah.
It's a great system.
So, Claire, give us a little thing. I know we've got, funeral industry here, insurance, senior services, but it's a pretty big group. What other kinds of folks are members of the Senior Action Network?
Well, it's amazing the types of people, businesses and agencies that are involved in the Senior Action Network. You can imagine with 170 members, it can be very diverse. But what we've got auto mechanics that can help seniors understand what their needs are and make sure that they're being treated properly. We've got financial advisors. We've got people who run adult family homes. We have the Alzheimer's community out there, and then the care centers and that sort of thing, nursing homes and all kinds of different people, area agency on aging, and of course senior services for South Sound. There was a couple others that I wanted to make sure that we kind of covered here that were very interesting. I thought we've got people who will not only do financial advising, but attorneys and that are elder care attorneys that I think are very important, that give proper information, power of attorneys and bookkeeping services, just a whole host of people. How about the Timberland Library? Now that's a good thing. It helps seniors to find information and provide them not only information but entertainment. One of the neat things I think is Intercity Transit is a member of Senior Action Network. They teach people how to get around and to utilize the system.
The travel trainers.
Exactly. So you can see that we have a lot going on.
And the services, I always think I love massages, and I found some wonderful massage therapists that come that really want to help keep seniors up and going and active, and massage can be a part of that. We've had acupuncturists.
Foot and ankle therapy and physicians and all the likes.
Traveling veterinarian that'll go out to the senior's house to take care of their pets.
Organizing services.
Right.
To help people get organized, moving, real estate. It just it goes on and on. But all geared to the needs of seniors.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for bringing out that diversity, because that is really important. Yeah. So the other thing I'm kind of interested in, though, too, is all of those diverse members. A lot of them want to get the word out about what they do and can do for seniors. Talk to me a little bit about the SAN Speakers Bureau.
Well, Bruce and I are on the SAN Speakers Bureau along with some other folks, good folks, and we let members within the organization know that if they want to be on the Speakers Bureau, they can be. They have to meet some certain criteria and sign an ethics agreement. And then what happens is we go out and we educate the community on diverse information, all kinds of different things related to seniors. But we do it on the basis of never having any sales involved. It is purely an educational program, and it does a great service for those folks, and we have a lot of fun doing it too. So,
like Panorama.
We've been to Panorama. We've been to different nursing homes and done some things out in the community, to the senior service centers, to Rotary clubs, to churches, to you name it. We've been out there. And we want to let people know that we're available.
Right.
And so you can go on our website and find out.
And what is that website?
It is senior-action, isn't it? Yep. .net.
Okay, so senior hyphen dash
Yep.
network.
Senior-action.
Action.net.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. There you go.
senior-action.net.
All right, very good.
Panorama was the most amazing one. I mean, they had the whole stage for us, and after Claire and I and Michelle and Lauren all did a presentation on all the areas of planning, they took it, put it on DVD, and then they aired it all the way through Panorama for all the residents for about a month.
On their closed circuit TV
And to be
there.
trusted at Panorama is a great accomplishment.
Yeah, because they do really protect their
That's correct.
residents, yeah,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. But it's good that they were trusting enough to kind of open the door a little bit, so now they know a little bit more about Senior Action Network as well.
And they're a member of SAM too.
Yep. So one of the things that Senior Action Network and how it has grown is not just about networking, not just about educating the public, but it's actually about giving back to seniors in the community as well. You want to talk a little bit about some of that giving back, Bruce?
It's different people, different parts of our organization, different members have their different likes they like doing, and they develop bazaars to raise money for Senior Action Network, like we just had our bazaar, caregiver banquet. So we do things that bring money into us, and there's no paid members in Senior Action Network. So as we bring in money, the purpose is to give it back to seniors and give it back to the community. So we love donating to Senior Services of South Sound, Catholic Community Services, and we have the food bank, and we have just different things that involve seniors we like giving a block of money back to, but also for seniors in need that can't pay maybe a power bill or something. They can write into us and get a donation from us if it fits the criteria, but they normally go through Area Agency on Aging, Ray Graham, and we are happy to give money back to seniors that need money.
Right. And I think, you know, I don't think we probably have an accounting of over the years how much we've given back to the community, but I know it's a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Now it's added up after these 14 years. And I am so appreciative of the donations that SAN has given to Senior Services, because it really allows us to reach out to those low-income seniors that really can't afford services like Meals on Wheels and Stars Adult Daycare. So thank you.
Well, we're happy to.
You're welcome.
So we talked a little bit about some of the things that SAN does for the community. And gives back to individuals in need, but also agencies that serve those low-income seniors. And I want to talk a little bit about some of those activities that you kind of mentioned of how money is raised. Talk a little bit about the caregiver banquet, because it wasn't originally started to be a fundraiser, was it?
No. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you and Dave Robinson came up with this one, or who came up with the caregiver banquet. I imagine Dave Robinson was pretty much involved.
He was a part. Yeah, definitely.
But it came around with realizing that some of the unknown, not as appreciative people are the caregivers in our community. And I think of the young high school girl that gets off the bus, and instead of going to play with her girlfriends, she goes to Grandpa and Grandma's across the street, and she is caring for them. And this is what her life is as a young girl, and nobody really knows that this is what her life is. And then all the caregivers that are in the community and the nursing homes and the assisted livings, and so this banquet was created to honor those people. And when the nominations go out into the senior news and the paper, and you get them back, and then I think mostly the ladies get to read all these, and they're in tears reading these stories, and they're trying to pick out the best of each facility and all that. It's quite an undertaking.
Yeah.
But then we do it over at Olympics West, and we have an average of probably 200 people that are there. And you're one of the narrators, and Dave Robinson, and it's just a beautiful show.
Yeah. Well, it's a way to lift up people who are doing really hard but really important work for very little money. You know, they really don't get a lot of monetary recompense for that, but it is a wonderful evening. I'm all ready to take it to the new heights and take it to the Worthington Center or something, and so we can get 300 people in the room instead of 200, and but I know you, Claire, and your wonderful wife Sharon are always there helping, and it's something that makes your heart sing.
Yeah, it does.
You know.
Yeah, it's a very special event.
Yeah, so thank you. The other things in terms of the Senior Action Network, the Fraud Forum and the Living Long, Living Well Conference, again, part of the education component of the Senior Action Network. I know, Claire, you were part of a panel at the Living Long, Living Well conference.
Yep. It was wonderful. Again, we were bringing people together to learn a little bit more about what's going on in their community and give them educational information.
Right.
It's just a great opportunity, and we had it at the church over in Tumwater, the Nazarene Church, and they supplied the facilities, and we had tables and vendors that could give information out, and then again the panel.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
It really was a lot of good information. So people find out about things like the caregiver recognition dinner, the forums, what have you, and other SAN things in various ways. And both of you have some senior articles, newspapers here. So Claire, do you want to tell a little bit about our relationship with the Senior News?
Well, in the Senior News, there's always an article that you can find in there that somebody will be writing that will give you information, helpful information in regards to senior activities. And also we have an activities list. That's going to be the things that are going on in the community that Senior Action Network is involved with, or its members, the article, and all kinds of things that, and if you want to find out about Senior Action Network, this month's issue is the one that you want to pick up.
That's right, December's issue
There's
is
like 15,000 copies floating around out there in Thurston, Mason, and Lewis counties. So if you can get one of these, you'll learn a lot more about Senior Action Network and how to connect with us.
And that reminds me, one of the things we didn't mention is that one of the places Senior Action Network puts its money is in helping the equipment bank.
Yes.
So, the medical equipment bank that's also run like the Senior News is through the Council on Aging. So,
Right.
yeah.
A lot of our advertisers help Rick to build the paper for advertising money because we're advertising, so it all works for him too.
Yeah. Yeah. Bruce, I'd like to just take back for a minute to the kind of the business side of why a business might want to join the Senior Action Network. So can you speak a little bit about how it's helped your business being part of the Senior Action Network?
If I wouldn't be here, my business would not be here if it wasn't for Senior Action Network, and that's an absolute fact. In the insurance industry, you know, marketing is important, how you market and everything. And if I was to have to cold call all day long to advertise my business or to put out a lot of advertising money to advertise that I do long-term care planning, I'd be exhausted. But when you build the network and you help everybody building the network and the referrals are doing it, I was telling Claire earlier today that my business is 99% referrals coming in from the elder law attorneys and the CPAs and people because they understand the work I do because we're all together.
So another interesting thing that has happened, though, is because I think it might have been because of the Olympian that somebody saw an ad and called to find out about the Senior Action Network, and you then introduced him to Senior Services for South Sound. So it's been something that's been of a benefit. Do you want to tell a little bit about that story? And I think we can use his name. He's okay with that.
I'll try to make it a short story. But the guy, this gentleman, he called my office because my name was on the thing in there, and he called and he said, you know, I have a real hard time with transportation. I live just outside Cooper Point, outside the area, and I cannot get to town, and I'm legally blind. And somebody does that, I'm on the hunt. I want to find the solution for him. So I called you at Senior Services, and you guys arranged to have your van go out and pick him up and bring him down to the senior center. From there, he could get out to wherever he needed to by transportation, but it was getting to town was a tough part. And through that relationship with Hal Marcus, I found out then that he's such a prominent man of fundraising and everything that it just all seemed to click of getting him more involved and everything else. And you can tell what he's done for the senior center. I'm really happy that this all connected.
Well, just this last month even, he and his wife Inga, Marcus offered a challenge for our fund-a-need at our auction. So they donated up to $10,000, and we then were able to ask donors at our auction to help donate to our transportation program for our fund-a-need. And we raised $18,000 from the seniors there, and then with Hal and Inga Marcus's $10,000, made $28,000 for our transportation program.
Oh, that's great.
And he and Inga have been very generous in other ways too. But, you know, again, it's all because of this network that has been established. You know, what we can do together is put together some advertising in these newspapers that singly we wouldn't be able to do. You know, senior services does not have big advertising bucks at all. Somebody sees that advertising because it's so much nicer because we've all gone together on it, and it gets action. Senior Action Network.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing.
The name still fits us.
It does. So anyway, I just want to thank both of you and really all the 160 members of Senior Action Network for the great job they do in the community. And it's spreading. I hear you've been talking to people in Spokane.
Spokane's off and running now.
Yeah.
Flo, that was in our group here, I went over to Spokane and talked to a few of the people. They asked me to come over and explain what we did. They've got SAN of Spokane now, and they're just up and running with the whole thing and building their organization. And someday Claire and I'll be on the road out there spreading SAN
doing our
the
dog
United
and
States.
pony show.
There you go.
Be retired, but the next Rotary of the United States.
There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wish I had?
No, we're just so thankful for the way it all came together. It really is a marvelous organization. So proud to be part of it.
We'll never know what the end result will be.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it'll live beyond us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're proud to be members of SAN.
Yep. Great. Well, thanks so much for coming in.
And I thank you and TCTV especially
Right on.
for allowing us to do this.
I want to thank all the volunteers here at TCTV that make this possible. And to all of our wonderful viewers, we just want to say a wonderful holiday to you, and we look forward to seeing you again next year, 2013. Wow.
You've been watching South Sound Seniors, a look at the people, places, and events that impact our growing senior community here in the South Sound region. Our program is presented as a community service to inform and involve you and yours in the lives of older adults. Our program came to you through the facilities of Thurston Community Television in Olympia, Washington. We invite your comments.